Hey guys, Mapletail here. Something a little different today. We're taking a look at the Cattails Wildwood Story Alpha. I did an in-depth look at the demo for this game and decided to document some of the exploring of the new features since the release of the alpha. Before I get into it, don't forget to like and subscribe for more cat-themed videos. I started a fresh save file of my playthrough of the alpha with my cat Thorn, commander of the Misty Kingdom, back in August when the alpha first came out. The name Misty is a reference to one of my kittens from Cattails 1, and Thorn's orange and blue fur is a reference to my first two playthroughs of the game, for my first cat Minnow, who had blue fur, and my second cat Russet, who was a ginger. I like to think that Thorn is a descendant of them. With this cat, I plan to romance Phantom, as I think they have such a pretty design and I like their lone hunter personality, and I grew quite attached to them in the demo. Now into the gameplay. The first thing I want to get into is the den. I decided on more of a cave or castle-like aesthetic for this cat to go along with the kingdom name, adding lots of crystals, rock forms, and glowing items like jars of fireflies, as well as items like a desk, a war map, and several books. And I figured out how to make the den bigger. You can spend Muse, the in-game currency, to upgrade your den whenever you like, to truly massive size if you can afford it. I also learned that you can rotate some items, and they change their form or design, like the flowers or wall glyphs, which I just thought was very cool. Back in town, I explored the newly refurbished temple. Kickstarter backers who chose, I think, the highest tier got to design a cat statue and write a little plaque for it. That's what was in those two missing side rooms from the demo version. I gave many of them a read, and there were some really sweet messages. Lots of them tributes to beloved pets and such. Very cute. Out in the wilds, a couple of new features appeared. The big one was daily battles. You get 2 per day, and they work pretty similar to Cattails 1, except they are against void cats instead of rival colonies. But most importantly to me, you get way better rewards now. It might be money, prey, or a different item, but it really motivates me to seek out these battles every day, knowing that I'll get more than a couple Muse for the trouble. The other thing I was excited to see was the named cats you fight alongside. These were another Kickstarter reward, and one I actually got. The name I picked is in that pool, and I really hope to see it pop up. I chose the name Adara after an OC of mine. And that was about it for my first venture into the alpha. It wasn't until early December that I took another look, and so much was added in that time. So let's take a look. The first thing I checked out was the ability to choose your colony layout. Options like the classic forest, a river meadow, a sandy beach, or even a volcano. For those of us who started our save files before this update, aren't totally locked out of this either, with the introduction of the outdoor build menu, a feature that I was super overwhelmed with at first. The build menu allows you to completely customize the look of your colony. So cool. Access to this is in the middle of the town at the new Founder's Stone, where the task board used to be, which is now just a bit lower down. You can move any building and change their appearance, with there being a ton of neat options. You can add paths and rivers and decorate with a multitude of new items like trees, rocks, crystals, lamps, etc. I ended up going for a mountainous, rocky area to match the inside of my den, with murky ponds, stone pathways, and pink floral trees. I didn't mess with the locations of any of the buildings though, as I'm already kind of used to where they are. Nor did I edit any building appearances aside from my own. But I can see myself doing so in future playthroughs. I definitely want to check out all the preset layouts at some point, as I missed out on that here. Let's talk NPCs. There are 3 new ones since I last played. Alabaster, Rosemary, and Zephyr. They, along with the old ones, now have daily schedules, so they'll roam around town or even out in the wilderness, making the kingdom just feel more alive and lived in. This also makes the mini-map feel even more important, helping you find any cat you might want to talk to. I really liked getting to meet all the new additions. In the demo, I nearly maxed out my relationships with everybody, so this time around I'll be focusing on the new little guys. And Phantom, of course. I have read, though, that there is new dialogue for all the cats, some that only trigger under certain circumstances, so I won't totally be ignoring everyone else. So the new cats. Rosemary is a beautiful color point, very friendly, and always has the latest gossip. Zephyr has a nice fluffy coat and pretty lilac eyes. They're a bit of an oddball from what I've gathered, but lovable and full of passion, especially for their fans. I adore Alabaster's Russian blue fur, as I'm very fond of that breed. It always reminds me of Blue Star of Warrior cats. They are wise, full of knowledge of plants and herbs, and is there to pass the skill of gardening to us. Which brings us to our next big feature. The garden. I played around with it a bit. You can either buy seeds from Alabaster or make them from foraged herbs at the seed maker. I went for the latter as it's cheaper. Alabaster also sells new seed recipes though, which is very cool. You can use several items to make plant food to get the most out of your crops. Items like void marrow, daisies, and rock debris. It was nice to have a use for some of these otherwise pretty useless items. I mostly use the garden for planting healing herbs, like golden seal. But I also found some mystery seeds, which I hope grow into something interesting. Related to the seed maker is other forms of crafting. There's now a herbalist table and a mole forge for making items. The former is locked until spring year 2, so I wasn't able to unlock that just yet. The mole forge is available from the start though, by the mines. There you can use mined items to craft different things, one being the shiny trinket required for marriage. I really like the idea of crafting my own wedding ring over buying it. Just nice to have that as an option. The other new feature is tasks. At the task board, you can accept daily tasks, up to 4 at a time. Things like fetch quests for herbs or prey, or a request to fight a certain number of battles, things like that. And they don't expire, which is an amazing update from the frustrating 24-hour expiring quests from Cattails 1. These tasks are also posted by other kingdom members, or even by the moles in the mine, so completing them nets you friendship points, as well as a regular reward. The combination of all that makes me actually invested in tasks, and I'm looking forward to trying to do as many as I can. It just makes them feel more like a side quest than like a random task, which I love. One thing I also noticed was there was a Wildwood Story section of the task log that said coming soon. Possibly main story quests? That would be awesome. Either way, some kind of new task content coming one day. Another added feature is skills. Once you put a scratching post in your home, you can use experience to unlock skills. Unlike the first game, most of these seem to be active skills, and some of them are really cool. Useful stuff like Warp Home, or one that resets the skill cooldown to 0. Battle skills like Deep Cuts or Tiger's Breath. And intriguing ones like 9 Lives, which sounds interesting, but I'm not exactly sure how it functions yet. You can also level up all these skills, though I'm not sure what leveling up something like Return Home does. Maybe just a lower cooldown. Anyways, I'm very excited to try them all, and max them out. One thing I did not realize had been updated already was festivals. I was able to try out the Spring Festival this time around. It works just like in the last game. Play minigames to earn festival tokens and buy prizes. But the minigames are all new. The Spring Festival minigame is Mouse Chase. You catch mouse to earn points, gold mice being worth more, and rats losing you time. It'll take a few goes before I know if I prefer it to Cattails 1 Spring Festival with the flower minigame, which at least was a quick and easy way to rack in tokens, if a bit boring at times. In comparison, Mouse Chase is a chaotic experience, but it's kind of a great time. I wasn't overly interested in the prizes. In Cattails 1, some prizes were nearly essential in completing bundles. Others were cool seasonal pelts and items. Since there aren't bundles in Wildwood Story, not sure if that's something they're adding in the future, and pelts are totally customizable already, that really only leaves seasonal items. And I'm pretty sure I've seen most of this stuff available elsewhere in the game. Maybe that was just in the demo though. But a little disappointing at first glance. I want to try the other 3 festivals before I judge too harshly though. I do appreciate that you can buy festival soundtracks here though. I love collecting these in this game. As for some more personal updates, I was able to catch some of the prey and bugs I missed out in the demo, including the rare black firefly, a finch, a pike, and a weasel. And I did catch a small glimpse of my chosen name from the random name pool, but Adara and I were both killed by void cats before we were able to speak. They were a pretty little grey cat though, super cute. A little thing I want to talk about are some of the quality of life updates. A big one is the storage box outside your house that you can move wherever, but starts by the garden, a pretty helpful location. This box connects to the indoor storage system, so you don't have to go all the way home when your inventory fills up. I imagine putting it near the mines would also be super helpful. A smaller update, but still very nice, is that the game now autosaves when you sleep. Just a nice little feature that I really appreciate. I wasn't originally going to do this, but I decided to play for at least a couple seasons in this video to show off what changes. So I was able to attend another festival. The summer festival brought the return of turtle races. I like that the same turtles from Cattails 1 made a return as well. Nice to know that they survived all that. And I preferred the buttons that you now press in the turtle races, just using the arrow keys. I found it a lot easier than trying to find the letters. And I take back what I said about the festival prizes being disappointing. The summer festival clothing items were super adorable, like little fairy wings and a sunny summer sweater that I absolutely had to buy. I also noted that you can play other little mini games with some of the NPCs around the festival. I played a little game of Cat River Fish with Ember, which is basically rock, paper, scissors, for some extra tokens. A great addition for sure. Since I decided to play for longer, I was able to document the romancing of Phantom, at least a little bit. They came off as a pretty standoffish cat, so it was really nice to see them open up as Thorn got closer to them. Phantom is just such a sweet and awkward little guy when it comes to love. So cute. And that's about it for me. Thanks for watching. I'm kind of glad I put this video off for as long as I did, as now there is so much more going on in Cattails Wildwood Story, which was already a lot of fun back in the demo and the earlier days of the alpha. I'd love to do another video like this one once the beta releases, but we'll see. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next Thursday.